Hello everyone, I'm architect Sonakshi Shaukin and I'm an academician, assistant professor in Bhagwan Mahavir School of Architecture. Nowadays we tend to hear these very trendy topics related to urban design and planning. Futuristic cities is one of them. Today in the upcoming sequence of the video we will talk about how geography, history etc. shapes our cities and countries too. And from a very macro scale we will zoom to micro scale. We will analyze and talk about a city from a country which is on the verge of choking due to rapid urbanization, and study their new model, their new futuristic solutions for their futuristic cities. We talk about Russia and Ukraine as a country, and Moscow and Vinnytsia as futuristic cities respectively. So let's talk about the aspects which had shaped two countries and these cities the way they are today, due to their geography, history, politics, economy, and few intangible aspects.
Even though it is the largest country in the world, Russia has an indefensible and unforgivable territory. The core of Russia runs from the Volga Grain. The country has anchored its territory to geographic barriers far from its core in order to keep foreign powers distant. So dominance has had to reach east across Siberia, to the Pacific Ocean south, east to the Tian Shan Mountains, south to the Caucasus Mountains, and finally west to the Carpathian Mountains. The northern European plain is a gap between the Carpathian Mountains and the Baltic Sea, which its narrowest is 300 miles across from Poland. Russia has faced three major attackers along this axis: Napoleon, Wilhelm, and Hitler. Russia would prefer to control the lands between Russia and Polish Funnel, and pushing as far west as possible, knowing that once an attacker has passed that narrow choke point, then it is an open march to Russia's heartland. The term Russia was used to name the East Slavic territories that were not part of medieval Poland and Grand Duchy of Lithuania and united by Grand Duchy of Moscow into a single state. Mongol invasion put an end to Kievan Rus. Moscow gained upper hand, and by 14th century all Russian lands were divided between Moscow and Lithuania, and this paved the way for modern Russia. Afterwards, things expand further into Siberia and develop trade with Europe to become rising power and transforming into a Tsardom. Territory grew into a huge kingdom. Two invasions by Poland and Sweden left Russia unstable, but a rebirth of power started to occur as Russia modernized trade and spent good amount of GDP on arms and became greatest power, and Tsardom finally became an empire. The First World War showed ineffectiveness in the country. After the war's dissatisfaction arose in society, led to revolutionary events, the collapse of the country, and civil war. After civil war, the economic policy, a market economy with one-party dictatorship, was declared. The policy coincided with formation of USSR. Germany invaded USSR and went against their treaty. The war continued until the final victory over Germany. The war consequences and political changes with aim of reforming USSR lead to the fall of USSR, and then the Russian Federation became an independent state. After the fall of USSR, Russia became unstable. All the resources were concentrated in one city, and it was Moscow. Russia wants to be superpower again and wants to reunite Soviet Union. As per Russia, Russians should be reunified with historic homeland. Moscow enhanced its economic and political influence over government of Eurasian states, following their old agenda, using their political links, trade, culture, and language. Russia wants to bring in Eurasian people for jobs and education by using culture and language as their tool. Moscow is now a global financial city, and to weaken neighboring countries, Russian government had introduced easy work permit and some loose immigration policies. As a result, lot of illegal immigration is happening in Moscow, and all this leads to one concentrated, populated, urbanized city. Problems faced by Moscow are traffic problem, less breathing space, concrete jungle, less jobs for Moscovites, housing costs, housing shortage, pollution, etc. Though Russia is an agricultural superpower, still there is no agricultural sector left in Moscow. The whole narration needs a saturation and it strikes with Russian Revolution in 2017. Deconcentrating city concept is introduced to Moscow. After Moscow emerged on post-industrial development path, those industries and industrial areas were rented as office for commercial purpose and as housing shelters due to housing shortage. Moscow and its suburbs are steadily expanding with more and more plans for agglomerations and satellite town to house still growing number of inhabitants and jobs. Situated on 1200 hectares of agricultural land to south of Moscow, the objective is to double the size of Moscow by creating a new sustainable settlement comprising residential, retail, commerce and leisure development. The master plan for city will encompass existing city and 4 new districts: Federal, Innovative, Science and Logistics City. City will be car-free zone with mass transit metro system. It is planned to house 6 lakh people.
Russia is an important country. It is a military superpower. It has influence in the region, and it has influence around the world.
Moscow is a key supplier of gas to European Union, accounting about third of region's imports, half of which flows through Ukrainian pipes. Ukraine approved a trade deal with the European Union that removed export tariffs. It agreed to delay its implementation a year to avoid Russian energy sanctions and even attacks. Russian special forces occupied Ukraine Crimea. Russia claimed it was protecting its port access to Black Sea. Ukraine had planned to develop Crimea's gas reserve in 2 years in partnership with US companies. If Ukraine has accomplished, Russia would have lost its largest customers. Ukraine had been the second most important contributor to former USSR economy, provided 1/4 agricultural output and supplied heavy industrial equipment and raw materials to industries. Hence, Russia needs full control on Ukraine as its struggle continues to be a superpower. Booming agriculture transforming Ukraine's economy. Food is Ukraine's biggest export, helping to diversify economy away from energy. Ukraine is 70% rural-based community thriving on agriculture. Russian policies were attracting people from Ukraine. Ukraine's 70% of area is rural region and 30% is urban. In search of jobs and good living standard, migration and immigration is happening, and due to this there is a lot of pressure on those 30% cities which are on a verge of choking. Ukraine wants to stop immigration and wants to curb population decline, but it was not that easy as Ukraine is agricultural dominated economy. It do not want to lose its rural agricultural model by urbanizing everything to provide jobs. Hence, it comes up with a unique model of rural township and centric towns. Ukraine government identified some centric villages and draft a master plan to urbanize it for nearby villages. One centric city will include commerce, leisure, retail, housing, recreation, etc. and will be housed between few villages so that those villages can sustain on that town without migrating to any other place for live, work, play. Urban transport and spatial planning were two main strategies for those centric cities. Vinnytsia was one best practice example among those centric cities. Vinnytsia was strategically placed between 12 villages. The focus of the project was on urban fill. Main priorities of Vinnytsia were strong community built, economic development with high quality employment, environmental sustainability and improvement of communal services, social quality, coherent urban and spatial development. It is the perfect example of how sustainable, qualitable, cost-efficient urban development on local level can be reinforced. Each city should take into account its distinct physical environment and not fight decentralization or centralization, but instead provide for it by ensuring people can meet most of their needs relatively close to where they live. Decongesting city was a very important idea for Moscow as there was the need to hold back the heritage of Moscow for better tourism and to generate more opportunities and housing for Moscovites without disturbing old Moscow. And on the other hand, concentrating town was the best practice for Ukraine because it was the best thing to stop migration and immigration, because when migration happens from villages to cities in search of work, cities get overpopulated, and to accommodate things right, urban sprawl and decongestion is required. Ukraine took a step before pushing its cities to expand or decongest itself. And yes, both Russia and Ukraine have different perspective to their city problems, so they have different vision for their futuristic cities.